Jesus told Pilate, "My kingdom is not of this world." John 18:36. A Roman governor. A Jewish carpenter. And one question that could decide the fate of the world. Are you the king of the Jews? Imagine Jerusalem teeming with Passover pilgrims and Roman soldiers. It's a collision of two worlds, not just a man and a governor, but two kings and two kingdoms. One, a ruler backed by the most powerful military on earth, holds the power of life and death in his hands. The other, a prisoner, whose authority no army could overthrow, King Jesus, holding the power of eternal life and eternal death. And yet, he stands accused of treason. Section 1, The Governor and the Accused. It was the early hours of the morning. Jesus had been arrested, beaten, and dragged from the high priest's courtyard to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. The Jewish leaders wanted him dead, but under Roman law, only Pilate could give that order. Section 2, Jesus' trial before Pilate. Pilate took Jesus inside and got straight to the point, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus didn't give a simple yes or no, but pushed Pilate to think for himself, asking if the question was his own, or just a rumor he'd heard. Annoyed, Pilate replied, "Am I a Jew? Your own nation handed you over to me. What have you done?" He just needed to know if this man was a political threat. Section 3, Jesus replied, "My kingdom is not of this world." Pilate wasn't interested in religious debates. He wanted to know one thing: was Jesus claiming to be a political king who could challenge Rome? Jesus finally answered Pilate, "My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight that I should not be delivered to the Jews, but now my kingdom is not from here." Jesus wasn't denying his kingship, he was defining what kind of king he was. His kingdom's authority came from God, not from legions. He was telling Pilate, "I'm not your political rival." Pilate, confused, pressed him, "So you are a king? Are you?" Jesus replied, "You say that I am a king. I have come into the world to bear witness to the truth. Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice." This prompted Pilate's cynical, famous question, for which he didn't wait for an answer: the truth. "So, what is the truth?" Then immediately, Pilate went outside again unto the Jews, and said, "I find in him no fault at all." Section 4, Pilate's reaction and decision. To Pilate, this made no sense: a king without an army? A ruler without land? But Jesus was speaking of a kingdom greater than Rome, greater than any empire before or after. Jesus was referring to a kingdom not built by human hands, but eternal, unshakable, and ruled by truth. Pilate found no guilt in Jesus. But the crowd's chants grew louder, and louder: "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Pilate was caught between truth and political pressure. Section 5, Jesus was led away to be crucified. Though Pilate declared Jesus innocent, he tried to release him by offering the crowd a choice between Jesus and a notorious rebel named Barabbas. But the crowd screamed, "Release Barabbas and crucify Jesus." The final threat came from the priests: "If you let this man go, you are no friend of Caesar." This was no longer about local justice, it was about Pilate's loyalty to the emperor. Pilate washed his hands before the crowd, declaring, "I am innocent of this man's blood." It was a symbolic gesture to absolve himself of a decision he knew was wrong. Jesus didn't resist. Because his mission wasn't to overthrow Caesar, it was to defeat sin and death. And Pontius Pilate handed Jesus over to them to be crucified. Conclusion: 2,000 years later, the question still stands: will you live for the kingdoms of this world? Or belong to the kingdom that will never end? Please remember to like, share, subscribe and leave a comment.